So, is it a good idea to just jump into a low-fat, raw vegan diet from being a meat eater, animal eater for many years? For me, I couldn't have done it. Like, it depends on where your headspace is at. I think, if you've been sort of exploring the whole area for a while now, then perhaps you might be ready to make that jump. But when I first became a vegan, just the thought of becoming a vegan was radical of a change for me at the time. That if someone would have, wasn't even aware of the low fat raw vegan, like 80-10-10 Doug Graham, that where you're eating nothing but fruits, vegetables, and nuts and seeds, and mostly fruits, that would have just been completely off the wall for me. There's no way on earth I would have even accepted that as being a reasonable way of surviving. It just wouldn't have registered. So just for me to become a vegan back then, from eating, living a lifestyle of eating a lot of meat, dairy, just to become a vegan was a huge change in my life at that time. And I think if that's where you're coming from, you've eaten meat and dairy heavily for a lot of years, then you may not want to rush into this. You may want to just begin by starting off by becoming a vegan. And today it's relatively easy to make that change, because you can go to any supermarket, you can go to pretty well any restaurant and get yourself vegan options, or foods that mock sort of what you are used to eating but are vegan or plant-based. And I think I would not consider that eating healthy. It is definitely a lot better than eating meat and dairy. And if that can help you get off the meat and dairy, I think it's a great way to make that first step towards eating a healthy diet. So, by all means, become a vegan, try it out, and enjoy it. Go shopping, buy all the food substitutes of what you're used to eating. Go to a vegan restaurant. If you haven't been to one, you've got to go. The gourmet dinners I like them better than anything you could get in just your standard restaurants. I think there's more creativity that goes into a vegan meal than there is a meal that's that's meat centered, and it's because vegan chefs have to expand their palette of foods to bring together a beautiful gourmet dinner. And so and they seem to be more creative with spices and using different flavors. So just if you're coming from that heavy meat, heavy dairy background, just enjoy being a vegan and have fun with it. And then when you're ready, when you're finally comfortable with being a vegan, you can then begin to look at, okay, now I'm interested in eating healthfully. And, then you can, perhaps your next step would be, and this is what I did, was, again, I didn't even know about Doug Graham and 80-10-10 at the time. I, for health reasons, decided to begin eating a low-fat vegan diet. And that I experienced some really remarkable benefits. So, and weight loss definitely being the big one. It wasn't until after that I came across 80-10-10 and the low-fat raw vegan diet, eating predominantly fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds, and 80-10-10 representing 80% carbohydrates, 10% protein, 10% fat. Now, that's just a guideline, that ratio. Actually, with protein, from what I understand, you don't actually need 10%. 6% is adequate. But that's a good guideline to work with. It works well. And so, yeah, and even then, I'm still in transitional mode with 80-10-10, although I've been doing it for a couple of years now. I'm not, what I mean by transitioning now is that I haven't reached the place where I am totally at ease with just eating fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds, and not craving cooked food of any sort. I still get those cravings. They're not strong. It's not like I feel like I'm being deprived, like someone on a calorie restrictive diet would feel. I'm not having that feeling to want to binge on my foods that I used to like. It's just and it happens mostly in the evening time. In the daytime, I have no issue with eating fruits. It's for some reason it begins in the evening time. It starts at around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. I start to crave cooked foods, and but that is slowly decreasing, and I am becoming more comfortable with just eating raw. It takes time, and I'm sure I will reach that place where that'll be a thing of the past, and I'll be perfectly comfortable in living and eating 100% low-fat vegan raw. So again, start somewhere. Start with something that you know you can succeed at. And for me, what worked was just becoming a vegan, because that was a big step at the time, just to become a vegan. But today, it's with the vegan options that are available in the supermarkets and in the restaurants, it won't be that bad. It's pretty much mainstream now. So it's not gonna be like you're going to be a social outcast. You'll fit in fine with everybody else. Everybody knows about veganism these days. So just becoming a vegan is a great first step. Getting off those animal products, it's a good beginning. So give it a try. Have a great day and God bless.